Nebraska, I don't know, I think it sounds like mountains and like...
Yeah, does it sound cold?
Quite cold.
Where is Nebraska?
I'm really embarrassed that when I think about Nebraska, I think of like moose.
I just think of bears for some reason.
Bears?
Bears, yeah.
Like the animal?
No, well, I always get Alaska and Nebraska confused.
Corn. Is that a thing that grows in Nebraska?
I don't know much about Nebraska.
Yeah,
it sounds rad. It's the coolest word ever, I think.
Austin City, here I come. What's the levy for a cowboy on the run?
London's where kind of all that stuff's happening. So Scotland, we're up in Glasgow, it's got its own hub of kind of music and bands. I think because we've got a little bit of like kind of competitions to try and get down there.
I feel like in London there's kind of like trends and kind of waves of band sounds, but in Brighton people are kind of doing their own things and we have friends in different kind of bands. It's like a little bit less cliquey maybe.
I feel like I'm a part of a punk scene, but I feel like none of the bands necessarily sound alike. I'm playing shows, whether they're at like venues or DIY spaces, that are made up of like a ton of like ladies and queer people and people of color, and I'm lucky to be a part of a scene that is much different from the one that I grew up with.
I guess there's a lot of stuff happening now that isn't in traditional venues because we have lockout laws, so like live music has to stop by a certain time and venues close at a certain time now, and there's a lot of noise restrictions. But I think there's a lot of good stuff coming out now because people are kind of reacting to that and starting up like a lot more house shows and factory parties.
The part of the sort of DC history that we were involved with was sort of like the more DIY scene that was there, and that was the community. Everybody was doing it. So
yeah, it's just like it was like the natural thing to do. Like you had a band, you played in a basement, and you did everything yourself.
There were just a lot of people that were just swinging for the fences, opening DIY spots, people doing the most ridiculous house shows I've ever been to. Everyone has become more legitimate with it, and people that used to throw house shows now run venues.
When I think of Nebraska, I think like farmland, but then also like we've played in Omaha, and I know that there are a ton of great bands out there, and now I actually am really excited about going back to Nebraska that I didn't think that I would necessarily feel that way like growing up where I did or like not knowing a lot about the state. So I'm actually kind of a big Nebraska fan.
My other band, Saint Seneca, recorded our last 2 albums in Omaha, so I've actually spent a lot of time there, and I love it. Like it kind of feels like when I go there, I'm like kind of going to like my second home.
I think it's a place that we will always go back to play shows. It's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think about Nebraska, Max and I spent a lot of time driving across the country, and I always think about how beautiful those places are that are like really big and expansive. And I feel like anytime you're in the company of something that's that wide and grand, it humbles you because you feel really small. And when I think about music there, I think about people like you and communities that exist there that are just like rabid and just love music. And those are the best people to play for.
Shit, that was a lot deeper than Corn.
Cause who am I to judge another man for the choice he makes under the gun? Y'all don't